Hey guys, good afternoon, everybody. Today is Thursday, April 17th. It is 4:01 right now. Our scheduled mentoring session is for 4 o'clock with Nick. So I'm going to go ahead and finish setting up this room real quick, and I will get started shortly with this session for today. Got a few things here to update, and we should be good to go. All right, that's good. And we are good to go. So let me get this link sent out to Nick. There we go.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Nick? How's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing, Sean?
Good. Hanging out. Glad the trading week is well, I guess I wanted there to be another trading day, but I'm kind of glad it's over because it's like, it's one of those weeks where it's like kind of iffy, but you also want to keep trading, but you also don't.
Just because a holiday week, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they are a little weird.
Yeah, I was wondering why the market was moving kind of weird early on, and I was wondering why people kept asking me if I was going to trade on Friday, and then I just, put two and two together. I was like, oh, obviously it's a holiday week.
Yeah, I swear I thought it was Friday too. I was looking at just, I don't know, something kind of ticked me off that like, oh, it's Friday. No.
Yeah, no, I agree. When you said that on the live session today, I was like, wait a minute. It is kind of like a funky Friday, but basically, in a gist of it was. So
All
let's
right.
see. Yeah, so for today's session, not sure what you want to cover, but whatever
Mm-hmm.
you cover, we can find what the focus is.
Yeah, I had a couple of questions written down. I answered a couple of them now too, but I still wanted to meet.
Yeah.
I got my fixed daily loss limits. I wanted to set those just in case I like lost internet or power or something.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely super useful. I've mentioned that before in the past, but I haven't really reminded people. But yeah, it's a big thing to have just in case. Like what happened to me a couple weeks ago when my laptop shut off on me. I was like,
Yeah.
I had that thing in place because if it went worse, and that's also kind of what happened with the trade that happened a couple, I think last Monday or the Monday before that, where like I took a sell and the market just kind of shot up like super crazy. Uh, like it stopped me out where I was supposed to, and then I also had that limit in place. So like even if it went past that, it would just like lock me out at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a weird trading week. I lowered my risk, but I only lowered it after I had some of those losses last week. So then I kind of limited my recovery after I lowered the risk because there was the wins after that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was the same thing with me too. Like I half my contract size this week and we had all wins, but if I had, my full contract size, I would have been back in profit and then some. But yeah, it is what it is.
No, it's
Yeah.
fine. I know how I'll proceed in the future, so
And I had no idea how this week was going to be. I wasn't sure if it was going to be crazy like last week, but I'm glad it's kind of calmed down a bit.
yeah. Um, one trade I wanted to show you what happened. I mean, I understand what happened. I was just surprised because I'd never had it happen before, just because I'm just trading different accounts now.
Mhm.
Um, can I share my screen?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'll press share. Then I press allow. Um, screen one. Share. Okay, cool.
All right. Yeah, I can see your screen now.
So this was the trade. It was a weird one. It won and it lost, and I'm not used to it pulled me out of a couple positions and it kept me in a couple for they're called contracts, right? When you pick your number for the size.
Yeah.
Okay. So my ape or my they're all apex. My Oh no, they're all trade evade. On my Apex account, won 6 out of 8. It was an 8 contract, so it was like getting half profit, which is kind of weird. And then my Tradeify only did 1 out of 3, and then 2 of them lost, so I was a little negative. So I don't know. I was just surprised. I'm not aware. I wasn't really aware. I was just looking for input really on that. I didn't know. I thought it would pull me out of all positions at once, or like it would close them all at once.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. So, looking at this here, did you let me see what that option is. I forgot what the option is called. Do you have the ATM? Let me check that out real quick.
I saved all my
Oh, okay,
accounts.
yeah. So if you have the ATM copy feature locked on, depending on what gets hit first, it'll execute at that specific point. So, like, say for example, if your main account triggered before the ATMs got hit on the other accounts, then it would have closed you out at those points. If in another case, if the ATM got hit first before your main account, then it would have closed out before. So I think that's kind of what happened here. It seems like when you enter
Yes.
there might have been like some slippage. Which one is your main account? Did your main account win or did it lose?
The main account lost, and then the Apex held on. So it was a Tradeify. My Tradeify account is the main account.
Mm-hmm.
And
Down.
then yeah, so that spit me out of 2 out of 3 positions and kept me in one. And then the one went all the way up to take profit, which was
Oh, okay, okay. I see what you mean. So you, not the entire position closed out.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it would have been like $600 for if it was a full position. So one of them, or was it? I don't remember what it was, but
yeah.
yeah, one out of 2 out of 3 lost. So that's negative.
Oh, that's why it was a negative.
Yeah, 600 would be the total. So
Yeah.
negative 200. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So I think what happened here was I don't think it was a copier that was the issue. I think it was just slippage. Obviously,
Yeah.
it looks like your Apex probably because you said it entered like 2 seconds later, right? So
Yeah, let me show you. So this is the entrance candle here, and it actually entered a little up here. I dragged this blue line down. So my entrance point, I think this was on the dot at 10:09 for my Tradeify account. So I entered up here, and then it shows the total distance. It entered up here and it finally exited down here. It was like 5 point difference from what I saw in the chart.
yeah, which day was this? This was on the 15th, so 2 days ago.
This was the second trade this week, so this was
Okay.
Tuesday. Tuesday.
Yeah, I think I got on that trade with you guys. That was one that we took for a buy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and I think this happened to a couple other people because I remember in the chat there was like 3 or 4 people that kind of said they had the same issue.
Oh,
I think it was just slippage. I think that entry, what happened was when we entered that next candle, that red one next to it was just such a big, like it's such a quick move and it was
oh,
a candle.
okay.
So I think depending on like when people hit enter, because some people hit enter like at the 59 seconds, some people hit enter at the exact 00, some people enter
Yeah.
seconds later. So I think everyone kind of got some people got the short end of the stick and some people got like the long end of the stick. Luckily for me, I think what happened with mine was I entered like 2 seconds before the candle closed and I got in like right where I was supposed to. Seems like with yours here, you might have gotten in a little higher on the Tradeify and then the Apex and pulled down a little bit. So it looks like you might have got it in at a better price. And I think that's kind of what happened there.
Yeah. And I was, just trying to see if there's anything I could have done better. So I was like, maybe possibly 2 to 3 seconds before the trade instead of on the dot, because I kind of waited until the candle closed.
Yeah, yeah. Because for me, I would look at the countdown, and as soon as I see the one, that's usually where I hit the enter button. Um, you probably waited till like the candle actually closed, and
Yeah.
that was probably the better decision because I think for this candle too, it was like an iffy candle, right? Like that green candle was like right at the line, but it wasn't necessarily like for
E-
sure.
exactly.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
for this one here, it was just everyone entered at a different time, or slightly different, like a split second, and some people got it and some people didn't, unfortunately. I
Yeah.
think,
There's,
yeah, and I think the TP stop loss that I used, I don't know if it was 40 or 45, but I know some people use 45 and they were cool, but the people who used 40 or anything below that, they would have gotten kind of caught with the crossfire right there because it was so close to the stop loss.
Yeah, yeah, it was really pretty close. So I understand it's just kind of the name of the game, but wanted to look
Yeah,
at.
yeah. This week's been kind of tricky. If you've seen the entries, like a lot of them don't hit right away. They've been taking like 5 to 7 minutes for them to hit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't even bother me. I just know that it's probably going to smoothen out in the future. It's kind of nice to get it out of the way in some ways, in some sense.
Oh yeah, no, I
So,
agree. Yeah, I think like now that the tariff stuff's kind of cooling down and there's negotiations going on, the volatility is starting to calm down a little bit.
yeah, yeah, certainly looks that way.
Yeah.
I just added, I don't think the 300 accounts are my jam, so I just kind of transitioning back over to all 150s.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna start a 150 test or whatever. I always
Yeah,
forget what they call it.
yeah, the eval, yeah. No,
Eval.
the 150, I would agree with that. So I think if I was ever to start over, I would just do 150s. I know it's nice having the extra, risk with the 300 where you can take bigger contract size, but it takes a while to even get a payout on a 300K account because you have to reach a threshold, which is pretty high.
20.
Yeah, it's super high. Yeah. Well, even after, like once you get to that 20, you still need like I think 9,000 or something like that to even request a payout. So for me, I'm requesting payouts like maybe every 2 weeks versus like every 8 days. But if I was on a 150K account, I could probably do it like every 8 days because the threshold is a lot smaller.
Yeah, yeah. Thresh, I just kind of got an idea. I was like, okay, this is gonna take a long time, so we're gonna do 150s.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Or even if you wanted to do 50Ks, well, no, well, 50Ks are cool if you just want to get payouts, but I think the 150s are like it's a good middle point. Like you get good payouts plus you get payouts more consistently.
Yeah, and I think I'll like all the same numbers. So
Yeah, yeah. So you can just do like equal contract size versus like what I'm doing. It's such a headache, dude. Like having to switch my contract size uh between the three
yeah,
the 150s.
you
So
need an Excel document.
oh, I know, yeah. I need an Excel document with shortcuts and all that.
So issue I'm having is I got my accounts in here again for my new ones. Yeah, I still haven't recovered on the Tradeify, unfortunate, but it's whatever. It'll come back. It's not opening my copier, and then my copier is not saving, which is weird. So I couldn't figure out how to get that. So I was hoping we could figure that out.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I'd help a couple other people. So it looks like it says that you do have the copier open already. So let's go click on your NinjaTrader tab below. Let's just close everything out. Let's just start it. Well, not close everything out, but let's click cancel on that. Let's go down to the NinjaTrader. Yeah, let's
Oh yeah, I opened it already.
okay, there we go.
Uh,
So yeah, let's have it set up to however you want to have it set up.
yeah, just for now. That's correct, right? Not
Yeah.
missing anything?
Yep. That looks good.
Okay.
So now that you got that set up, do you want any other windows open or is that's all you'd like open?
No, that's great. I mean, the less is great. Just these two
Okay.
is fine, no problem.
Perfect. Okay, so let's go over to your control panel again, your control center, that window, and then let's go to workspaces. And
Okay.
are you on the Nick one or are you on the default? Do you know?
I've clicked on the Nick one a bunch, so I assume I'm on it. Is that how you move to it?
Possibly. Let's click save and let's see. Well, we'll figure it out right now.
Okay.
Okay, now let's try to close out the control center. And I'll probably ask you if you want to save it. Yeah, I'll say yes, and then let's reopen Ninja. All right, yeah, there you go.
Okay, dokie. So why did it open?
Why didn't it open before?
Why did it open now?
Oh, uh, not sure. Usually, well, don't save it from there. I would just save it every time you close. So, like every time you click the X on the control center, just make sure to say yes. and every time you log in, it should be good.
That's weird. So if I say no, you think it won't open?
No, it'll still open because it'll do it what was saved before. So if you click no now, because you already saved it from the last time,
Yeah.
if you make any changes, like say for example, if you have like the chart open this time and then you click no, the next time you open it up, it'll open up like this, but with no chart.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I probably changed this and closed it and then closed this and said don't save and then it doesn't open is what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
what you might have did is you might have closed the replicano and then you probably closed the control center and then you put to save it, and that's why it didn't reopen.
All right. I think
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah,
Cool.
whenever I close it out, I don't even touch anything. I just close the control center every time, so it doesn't change anything.
See if I have any other questions here. So for the Tradeify accounts, the goal for a payout is 9,000 on the 150, and you can just request a payout at that point. Is that it?
Yeah, so once you get to that point, you could request a payout. The max request, I think, for your first request will be, I think, 3,000. So the reason they do that is so that you have some sort of cushion, because if you do request more,
Oh,
it eats into your drawdown. So like say for example, you're at 9,000, right? And then you request 3,000, then your drawdown goes down to like 6,000, where it normally is. That's like the default. Um, so they do that on purpose. They cap you at like 3,000, and then for the next payout, I think the threshold is like 4,000, and then you can request another 3,000 out. And they do that again to require that you have some sort of cushion, because they don't give you drawdown back. Basically, whenever you pull money out, it takes away from your drawdown. Because so for example, say if you're at 3,900 or 1,000, you're at 9,000 profit, right? Your drawdown, instead of it saying 6,000 as your cap drawdown, it's gonna be at to 9,000. So like whatever you take out of it, that's where your drawdown gets left at.
okay. It's like huh. Yeah, I don't exactly follow, but once you get to 9,000, then you have to have 6,000 in your account.
Uh, Here, so let me
Do
let
they
me
always do they always do that? You just have to have 6,000 cushion and you just plus from there. Is that it?
no. So this that rule is actually kind of new. Like what happened before was that people would complain because they would get to their threshold and they would withdraw like a huge amount, right? Like say for example, you're say you're at 1,000, or say that you're at, let me do the math. I'm like super shitty with math. So 150. So say for example, you're at 159,000, right?
Yeah.
When you're at 159,000, your trailing drawdown, you know how it's normally capped at like 6,000 or whatever that number is?
Right. Yeah.
So when you go over that, when you're in this account, your drawdown goes higher. So instead of having the ability to lose 6,000, you have the ability to lose 9,000. Does that
Okay.
make sense? Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So now that you have that, say for example, you don't want to withdraw the full 3,000. Say you want to withdraw just 1,000. So if you withdraw 1,000, then your drawdown stays at 8,000. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So what they did is they put that rule in place where you can only withdraw 3,000 at that point, because what happened before was people would have like they would reach 159,000, and then they would withdraw like say like 8,000 of it, right?
Yeah.
And then their trailing drawdown would be set at 1,000.
Oh, that's it. They put your trailing down to the account size.
Yeah, depending on how much you pulled out. So like when they would do that, people would trade and they're like, what the hell? How did I blow my account? And they're like, oh, because you
Uh,
X amount and you took away your own drawdown.
I mean, that's okay. They're just trying to keep you trading your account. They don't
Exactly.
want you to lose your account. So
Yeah, exactly. So they're forcing you to have a cushion. But I think after you get to like I think six payouts,
yeah.
they'll for you, or they don't even offer you, they'll just move you to a live account. And then when you move to that live account, you'll basically be able to withdraw like however much you want. You're not going to be capped on it. But then it's your responsibility to have a cushion because if you do that, if you request a certain amount and you don't have enough trailing drawdown to maintain the account, then you're kind of screwed because you'll lose the account.
So you once you get that first payout, your account has to be above 150. Is that
Uh,
correct?
yes, that is correct. Yeah,
Otherwise, it blows the account.
exactly. Yeah, because
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
yeah, they don't really explain it very well, but if you kind of understand like the reasoning behind it, then it's like, okay, that does make sense.
Yeah, no, I had heard it, but I didn't really understand how much per payout. So six payouts and then it's unlimited.
Yeah, somewhere it could be six payouts or it could be less. Depending on so what happens is what I started to notice with a lot of the prop firms is that they're more of like what they're doing is not mainly to copy your trades, they're mainly trying to pull data from you as a trader. So like, if they see you as a consistent trader, like someone who like consistently makes profits month over month, then they're going to invest in you as copying your account. But for the most part, they're trying to pull data on you to see if you're like worth the risk or not.
Gotcha.
So basically once you get to that live account, the restrictions get lifted and you're gonna be able to withdraw all the amounts, and I don't think there's gonna be much of a uh criteria for you to like, reach a threshold. I think like once you're in the live account, you don't have to reach a threshold, and then there's no caps on your withdrawals either.
Okay, now what about the Apex accounts? Kind of curious. So I know you have to get to same. Isn't that 159? Yeah, 159 on the Apex ones too.
Yeah, it's about the same. Let me pull up the FAQs right now. Let's see. Yeah. They change the rules like pretty often. Well, not anymore, but they did for a while. So like kind of changed a little bit. But
Yeah.
so minimum balance requirements for the 300K is for you to request a payout. It's a little less. So it's instead of 9,000, it's at 7,600. So once you reach 7,600, you can start with requesting payouts. Uh,
Wait, I thought it was 9. I'm gonna I want my damn web page open.
yeah, pull up the Apex website, go to FAQs on the top.
Oh, sure.
I thought it was 9,000 too, but it looks like
Well, they just show it. Hold on, just show it right here, don't they? Where the hell is it? Ugh. Oh, there it is. So 100 profit
what about
goal.
passing the account. That's what you're talking about.
Oh, just passing, yeah.
Yeah, passing. But once you're funded, you'll only need, or if you're on a 150K account, you only need 5,100 to request payout. There's still a threshold, but it's a lot less. Because on trade,
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's
yeah,
right. Yeah. You
yeah,
get
because on Tradeify you need 9,000, and
yep.
for Apex you only need 5,100. And then you're capped only on the first five payouts, and then after that you'll be uncapped.
5 for Apex. All right, that's a lot to keep track of, but I get the general idea.
Yeah. I mean, your main goal is really just to have consistency because
Yeah. Just
regardless of the fact, like once you get to a certain amount of profit in your account, you're gonna expect a payout. You're not gonna be thinking about this. That's why
right.
for me, I'm just focused on winning and yielding profit, and then when time comes, I'll request a payout. But I don't really like focus on that too much.
Yeah, well, my psychology is in the right spot. I'm not like taking crazy trades. I'm just taking our good MPS V2s pretty much on session, and yeah, that'll be that. And just getting all the technicals in order.
Yeah, exactly. And it's good that you're doing that, just focusing on one strategy because it's easier to keep track of, because if you're taking a bunch of different entries, it's hard to like improve because you're kind of like, where did I screw up this time? Or what did I do right this time? And since you're only following the NPSV2s, it's like, okay, this is all that you can work off. So it's good.
Yep. And let's see if I have any other. That's pretty much it, I think. And then I'll be good to go for Monday. New 150 to test out on.
Nice.
And hopefully I can get that Tradeify back. I know it was kind of a rough week last week, and then I wasn't risking much. So I had, we just had two? We just had two trades this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we didn't take anything. So it
Yeah.
was good. I mean, I did everything I could. I just kind of got yanked out of that position, which was kind of a heartbreaker.
Oh, yeah, the one on Tuesday. Yeah. No, yeah,
Yeah.
two positions, one on Monday and then one on Tuesday. Thankfully, they both hit for me. But yeah, like you said, on Monday and or Tuesday, unfortunately, like some people hit it and some people didn't. There was
It
even
was
people that, yeah, it was a weird trade.
timing. It was just weird timing because my Apex did fine. I wish my Tradeify would have done fine. I wish the Apex would have lost. I don't give a shit about the other one
Yeah,
right
because
now. It's fine.
that was your eval and the trade buys the actual trades are funded.
Right. Yep. And
Yeah.
it's still not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. If that one goes south, whatever. It's
Yeah,
fine.
that's what happens to one of the other guys too. He has like four accounts, and for some reason his main account had a loss, but then everything else like doubled in profit because of the slippage.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Well, I mean that's it it's just reassuring that other people have the same issue. And it's not like I entered stupid or something, but
Yeah, yeah, it was like out of your control. It was just one of those trades where, the movement was just kind of crazy and
I was just
unfortunately.
watching it as it was going and it was like I heard it pull out of a position. I'm like, but it's still in the position. I was just so confused in the moment.
Yeah, yeah, that is weird that it happened where part portions of your positions got removed and not the whole thing because
Is that uncommon?
it's very uncommon. Yeah, I've only seen that happen like maybe once to myself.
Oh my gosh, well that's crazy. I guess it really didn't want to pull me out of some of it, which I mean I'm thankful. I guess it didn't. I would have taken a bigger loss.
Yeah, yeah, I think because the thing is like we're trading on like I guess like what we'd consider like a real market. So versus like the other platforms and brokers we'd use. So you're kind of in line, like how you enter a position. If there's other people, and for example, we're all kind of entering at the same time, our group. So you're kind of in line, like whenever you enter a position, if you're in line first to get pulled out, you'll get pulled out versus someone else. So it's like I think that's kind of what happened. Some people got pulled out that were on Traderify and some people didn't. Because all of your entries were set at the same area of exit basically, or the same stop loss.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It was just unlucky, fortunately.
Yeah, it seems unlucky. I'll keep track of it if I get pulled out and I feel like there's slippage. I don't know. I was considering putting an extra like point or two on the bottom risk for the stop loss. I don't know. I was
Yeah, so some people do that. Some people they'll put an extra point on the stop loss and some people put an extra point on the TP just so that they cover like I guess the fees and the spread or whatever. For me personally, I just leave it as is because
yeah.
I'd rather just get out of it, than have to like I don't want to be greedy and like aim for an extra point when that could be the difference between losing and winning a trade.
Yeah, the one thing I've come to and definitely looking for, you know, what some other people's strategies are. If I see the trade push up to like 95% to TP and then pull back, I exit because I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, no,
because I'm
definitely.
like, oh shit, why did it do that? And it was so close. And is it really? I've seen it so many times do that and not push back.
Oh yeah, no, that happened to me last week. I was like so pissed. I think it happened to me like on Friday last week when the market was kind of crazy. It got to like I think I was going for 100 points or like 75 points, and it was like at 70, and it literally turned like complete opposite right after. And I was like, shit, I could have just easily pulled out, or at least moved my stop loss in profit. Um, yeah, it's just a weird market, like you said, you have to just kind of be watching it. You can't just like leave it alone. Because if you do leave it alone, the odds of it turning on you are very likely.
So this is a scenario I'm probably gonna run into. I'm just gonna want to trade my Apex maybe one day because I'm just working on the one of them for the both one of them, yeah, both of them for the eval.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, I'll make that the lead account, right? And then I turn off the Tradeify, leave that one off, and then I'm just trading my Apex.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If you just want to switch to your Apex and then just trade your Apexes, just have it set like that. And then when you do trade, you can just go directly off that. And then it won't copy your Tradeify. As long as you're not executing the trades on your Tradeify account.
Um, I just wanted to take a quick look at trading view. Be like, okay, so I have the copier set up like that. And then here I just log this one out and switch it to the Apex one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Where's the freaking, where do you log back in?
Oh, training panel, and
Yeah.
then if you drag it up, you
Oh,
scroll down, you can probably see. There you go.
oh, okay. There we are. Cool. All right, and that takes me to both of them and the copier. All right, I was just thinking about that like today and the past couple days. I was kind of coming to the conclusion maybe there's going to be some days where I just want to go for a little more risk because I'm just trying to pass an eval. But I don't really like that for the psychology, but I still maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Like if it's coming close to your renewal date and you're like, well, might as well give it a shot, you can do that. That's actually a question that I just got yesterday from another guy. So yeah, if you want to do that, I mean, yeah, like you said, it's not really good for habit because you're going to build a bad habit doing that. But
Yeah.
if you understand that, this is the one time and the only one time you're going to be doing it, then, by all means.
Yeah. And my psychology is good, so I'm not trying to screw it up. I think I'm improving with how I look at the trade while I'm in it. So
Yeah, no, definitely. And as long as you're not getting super nervous about the position, like if you look at the confluences and you feel good about it, then great. But if you like don't feel good about it, just pull out. I think that's like the best thing you can do.
yeah, yeah. And so I'm not taking any crazy trades. So in that way, that's why I bought myself a live account. So
Yeah, yeah, no,
we'll see
definitely.
if I keep it. Hopefully I keep it. I don't see why not. Like I should have been doing all right on it right now, but damn, that last one pulled me out. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and then that really messes with your trade psychology too. Because
Yeah,
it's happened to me before where like something happened that was out of my control and you just kind of think back on it and you're like, what could I
yeah,
have done differently?
yeah.
When
So that's
realistically, there's nothing.
yeah, there's really nothing. There's really nothing there. But, whatever. I knew this stuff would happen, and that's just all about, staying trading, keep staying trading. So
Yeah, exactly. Just staying on course, right? I think that's
that
the thing. If you stay on course and you stick to your trading plan, over time you'll start to, the good will happen. Like how it was earlier this year, right? We had like a pretty good year from January up until basically last week, and then last week it's crazy because I follow like a lot of other people who also trade and post their trading, not our group, but just like other friends and stuff.
yeah,
It's been like crickets lately, dude. Like there's so many people who are like super excited
burned.
about trading, and then I think everybody blew their accounts last week. That
Yeah.
everyone's quiet now, and like I don't see any of these pages posting trades or profits or any of that stuff. And it's like,
And it's okay. It's understandable.
mhm.
I For my live account, I set it up for 6, like really 5. Like I would have to lose 5 times in a row plus, and then I'd still have a 6th trade.
Yeah,
So
and that's good. I think that's a good number. Having five or six on a live account, you're good. But like on the eval, you can take more risk. Like for me, I think I said that's maybe three or four.
3 or 4.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you don't do well on that one, like within a month's time, it's gonna reset anyway. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
All right, that's good. That's a helpful number. 3 or 4 for funding tests.
yeah, for the Apex evals. So that in that situation, because in a month's time, you should probably have at least three or four good trades, right? I think that's like a
Yes.
so if you do that, then the odds of you passing within a month's time is like very likely.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, if there's any other questions, always feel free to reach out. Here to help.
All right. Thanks so much, Sean.